Well, first off, Adam, thank you so much for having me on the show again. I was on your show a while back. It's been a while since I've been on your show, but thank you once again for having me on here. And when it comes to, like, say, a new podcaster, especially everybody starts off new. Everybody who creates a podcast, unless you're already a public speaker, or already famous, or already something going on. For most of us, I say indie hobby podcasters. Indie podcasters, meaning they're just independent people doing it at home, no budget, no studio, just themselves. We're all very nervous. I mean, can you imagine going on stage and giving a presentation if you've never given a presentation before and you are nervous as hell going up there? I mean, you'd be just like stuttering, and just getting all like, oh my gosh, the confidence level will be just super low. And I think what comes to podcasting is that a lot of indie podcasters, a lot of new podcasters lack the confidence they need to really make their content shine through, stand out above the rest. And you'll hear that, even if you don't see them, you will hear that in the audio. You'll hear that in their voice. You'll hear that when they talk. Even if they're doing an interview style show where they bring on a guest and they'll ask them questions, maybe they're pre-written down or whatever. And you can kind of tell they maybe will rush through the guest bio or right at the beginning of the episode. Here we're with so-and-so, and they'll just rush through things and maybe they'll trip over words and they'll sound very, very flustered, very kind of a nervous sound. You'll hear that. And the guest will come on and they'll ask questions, and it may sound unnatural. It may sound more like a nervous job interview, like an HR department. It may sound like that, not an actual conversation. And I think people need to have real conversations and need to have organic conversations with each other for an audience to really kind of like gravitate towards that. That's what I'm thinking.
So I want to hear more on this. So you're talking about the confidence that we have and we're showing up as a podcaster with or without it. And you're also talking about the type of conversation that we have with our guest. And it feels like you're putting them together. It feels like you're saying if we have, for example, more confidence, then we're going to have a different type of conversation with that guest. Will you go more into detail on that? What I want to hear is like, what is an example of this happening badly? And then what is an example of this happening more naturally and more confident so that the listener can see am I doing that? Do I need to change? How do I change?
Well, let's take the easy one, I guess, if it's a bad conversation, because most people who do guest interviews, I don't do a ton of guest interviews. I do a handful of them, but when I do a guest interview, I've already sought out the guest. I've already listened to all their stuff. I've already followed them. I kind of know what they're about. And I see, is this guest a good fit for my show? Does this guest have information that my audience would like to learn from or learn about and things like that? That's what I do. I know that when I was doing my other show, we were bringing on guests. We kind of did a little bit of that, but for the most part, it was like, hey, can I come on your show? Sure, come on. Let's just, we'll figure it out. Yeah. And I know that a lot of podcasting experts will tell you have to do a pre-interview before you have a guest on your show. And I mean, you can, if you have time to do that, yeah, go right ahead. Have a full-blown, pre-interview, kind of like get to know each other kind of thing, have a vibe, because it's much easier to have a conversation with somebody you kind of already know and you already have a rapport with versus a complete stranger. I mean, total stranger. Most interviews are just complete strangers talking to each other. They have no idea, know nothing about them other than what they've seen like online, but they haven't known each other at all, really. So if you can't do that, maybe try to do a little bit of something before you press record. I mean, I've been on some shows where, I log on to Zoom and the next thing you know, we're already recording. I'm like, hello, is this thing even working? Or something like that. So, yeah. At least warm me up first, before you like go straight into the interview. So
they call that foreplay, I think.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So if you're going to do that, at least make the guest feel as comfortable as possible. And I think as the podcast host in this situation, you're kind of like the captain of the show, or the captain of the interview. So you kind of have to have some confidence, like a leader would have confidence. You wouldn't follow a leader at a job. He didn't know what he was doing. or it was so unprofessional, had lack of confidence. Leaders have confidence. And if you're a podcast host, you're leading your show, have confidence.